This is this is the biggest thing we've ever done. We've done some big ones. This thing is rocking Silicon Valley. I mean, my phone is blowing up. Right, I'm not just saying this to hype it. This is. I mean, Twitter corporate issued a second response here and in the last hour, saying we're not doing it when they're on video doing it. This might force their CEO to. I mean, you guys got to tweet at Jack Dorsey, at Jack Dorsey. This is the biggest censorship story in modern times. And unlike the mainstream media, we have them dead to rights. They're caught on video. It's not me quoting people in a text article. They're on tape in restaurants, in areas where there's no expectation of privacy, talking about how they target people using their algorithms. And everything we do is on the line because Twitter is the modern public square. Whether we like it or not, these companies are the modern public square. And they're describing how they censor moderate voices, not ultra right-wing ones. And you know what, Alex? I got to say something that's happening right now. This is not a right-wing story. There's a lot of people, mainstream people, who are raising their eyebrows and patting us on the back. And the media is going to be dragged kicking and screaming into covering this one.
James O'Keefe of Project Veritas is our guest. We're going to play some clips after he leaves us here in about 4 minutes. But James, as you said, I can sense this is historic because it just shows the censorship and it gets people excited about promoting the story, and then they see it being censored. Hey, if this is what they're doing, then bring it out in the light. Give us more details of what's in the video, but also the shockwaves this is sending across the world right now.
This is this is the biggest thing we've ever done. We've done some big ones. This thing is rocking Silicon Valley. I mean, my phone is blowing up. Right, I'm not just saying this to hype it. This is. I mean, Twitter corporate issued a second response here and in the last hour, saying we're not doing it when they're on video doing it. This might force their CEO to. I mean, you guys got to tweet at Jack Dorsey, at Jack Dorsey. This is the biggest censorship story in modern times. And unlike the mainstream media, we have them dead to rights. They're caught on video. It's not me quoting people in a text article. They're on tape in restaurants, in areas where there's no expectation of privacy, talking about how they target people using their algorithms. And everything we do is on the line because Twitter is the modern public square. Whether we like it or not, these companies are the modern public square. And they're describing how they censor moderate voices, not ultra right-wing ones. And you know what, Alex? I got to say something that's happening right now. This is not a right-wing story. There's a lot of people, mainstream people, who are raising their eyebrows and patting us on the back. And the media is going to be dragged kicking and screaming into covering this one. So I'm really proud of our team for what we've, my undercover journalists put their lives on the line for this. And they get attacked. And I got the Attorney General of California sending me an audit letter, which I'm going to publish soon. I mean, everything is on the line, and this is the greatest censorship issue of our time. And there's more to come. I've got more videos.
We're witnessing organized, focused racketeering, in my view, in meetings, at events, in classrooms, but then out at bars, about how they're organized, how they're censoring. We're going to play some of the clips after you leave here in a minute or two. And again, the fact that they try to deny it, they know it's damning. It's going to completely blow up in their face. And then you add the Google censorship, the YouTube admitting it to everybody. The stuff that you got about me is now being used in current lawsuits from Google executives that have gone public. It looks like the whole house of cards is starting to go down. And if you track the line of what's giving us the key intel, it's Project Veritas, my friend.
Yeah, James Damore sued Google this week. I've been in touch with him. Charles Johnson sued Twitter this week. Dennis Prager sued YouTube. Everything you guys have been saying is in this video. I mean, I can't even, I kind of have to let the video speak for itself. I mean, all I can say is the one request I have for your audience right now is go to Twitter, if you have a Twitter account, and tweet at Jack Dorsey, at JACK, and say, hey, Jack, you better answer for this. Make your algorithms public. It's a user-driven system. We don't want government intervention, but you got to make it public because anonymity breeds responsibility. And Alex, I'd like to come back on your show because the next video we release, I mean, I can't even make this stuff up.
James, you've got the hotline, and anytime you call us, you're on. Please give us an update tomorrow. You are on top. The biggest story probably in the world right now. Incredible. Thank you so much.
I'll be back. See ya.
Thank you. Yeah, he's got to go. Folks, Let me tell you, I don't just send donations around. I sent 20 grand there a few months ago because the video they got of Google saying that I'm the #1 enemy and they're censoring me, when they got to the lawyers, they said, this is it. No matter how good their lawyers are, you win. And we're getting ready. And it's being used in the other lawsuit, the Demore suit. And they got more documents. And I don't want to just sue for me. These pigs are blocking everything we do and then not even letting us, we send out to our millions of subscribers. Nobody gets it. We do all this. They demonetize us 95%. Don't even tell us. And then they got these arrogant people. They get up on their high horse video. And they just arrogantly shoot rednecks like Julian Assange. Yeah, we're shutting him down. The guy that George W. Bush wanted arrested. It's sick. But again, they're liberals, so it's okay to be fascist. And you see how Antifa doesn't want you to be able to march? And they tell our reporters with guns in Austin, you can't go through here to the Capitol. We have guns. Are you scared? No one's like, yeah, you're hitting me with clubs and you have guns. If your finger's on the trigger, I am actually shaking. The police just say, we've been ordered to stand down. Sorry, Owen. Well, these are the same people running these platforms, and they want to censor everything. And they are the internet. They get everybody to go on their platforms, say they're free and open, and then secretly start censoring. So I'm not bragging when I tell you we've given $100,000 for this big investigation into pedophilia that's been there in the arrest. All of it's going to be here soon. We even supplied a lot of the, I'm going to leave it at that, and we're helping Veritas behind the scenes. That's why you need to go to InfoWarsStore.com. You need to commit. And I don't want to sit here with the information time we have and plug this, plug that. We got the best supplements, the best game-changing products, the best T-shirts, the best films, the best books, just material to fight the globalists. And I've been so busy. Half the stuff we had at 50% off isn't 50% off because it's sold out. But we got Secret 12 sold 50%. Survival Shield X2, you got to get that 50%. Super Mel 50%, and a bunch of other stuff. The Crossroads of Hunter Wild, the new Mike Norris film. This is what a second American Revolution, Civil War would look like. Very important. InfoWars, endorsed by his father, Chuck Norris. InfoWarsStore.com. By the way, Chuck is a daily listener, and he's been on before, but little birdie told me, I think we're going to have Chuck very soon in person here, so that's always great because he's a really smart guy. But right now, let's play a few minutes of O'Keefe, who is just on fire, because, again, it's the arrogance and how they're talking about, they're calling us pieces of crap. And we know that if we put out a clip of Hillary saying black people are subhuman, they block it because they don't want you to see Hillary saying blacks are super predators and aren't good people and deserve longer prison sentences. That's the stuff. And it's in the WikiLeaks they censor. They all do it. Then they deny they do it. Well, you're going to get antitrust suits and discrimination suits, and you are getting sued. And I told you I was going to sue you. But I was told, Alex, sign on once the class action goes. And now you see all the lawsuits with my name in them. Every one of the damn things, excuse me. Let's go ahead and go to this clip from the Project Veritas expose that's on Infowars.com right now. Get our articles about it and tweet it at the head of Twitter from Real Alex Jones right now. Here's a clip.
We're trying to get the people not to go off. It's a product thing.
Let's say it was a pro-Trump thing, and I am anti-Trump. I was like, I banned this whole account. It'll go to you. And then it's at your discretion. And if you're anti-Trump, you're like, oh, you know what, Mo was right, let it go.
The idea of the shadow ban is that you ban someone, but they don't know they've been banned because they keep posting, but no one sees their content. So they just think that no one's engaging with their content, when in reality, no one's seeing it. I don't know if Twitter does this anymore.
How do you know if it's a bot and not a normal person?
You use machine learning. You look for Trump or America, and you have like 5,000 keywords to describe a redneck, and then you look and you parse all the messages, all the pictures, and then you look for stuff that matches that stuff.
So is it going to essentially ban certain mindsets and or people who could be negative? No.
Yeah, they allow, they allow the Twitter people like Oberman to run on and say he's going to kill everybody and murder everybody. He stays up. And they call, don't be negative. Don't say that, oh, look, the lowest black unemployment. We tweeted this week, the lowest black unemployment level ever to millions of people on our platforms and got a couple hundred responses because they were only seeing it at Real Alex Jones or at Prison Planet with Paul. And Paul's one of the biggest guys on Twitter, despite the fact you have to go to his Twitter page to even see the material. The authoritarians that are controlling this planet to a great extent, the technocrats, the big tech giants, they admit they're setting up something called a technocracy. And the definition of technocracy is an authoritarian world government that uses technology and the tracking of information to control what the general population does. Pull up your own definition. But it is an authoritarian system. And if you read about Davos and the EU and the Goldman Sachs, they all say, we are technocrats. We are technocrats. Now, I'd read that in their documents 20 years ago and talk about it. But you go read what they're saying publicly now. That's what they've set up. That's what they've established. And James O'Keefe from Project Veritas has been at the heart of exposing it. And as you can see, you're watching on television right now, he will be entering the studio here momentarily, kind of like I am sometimes. He's busy with some big breaking news, but he's about to be there here in just a moment. I sure understand having so many things in the air, so many pans on the stove that we're juggling here. So he's going to be joining us here in just a moment. But he didn't just catch him on tape a few months ago saying our main mission is to censor Alex Jones and the Liberty Movement. That was Google and YouTube. He's now, got the Democrats saying we steal elections, we bust in illegals to vote, we have them vote in the names of dead people. He didn't just expose all the other countless things like Acorn and bring that down. Just showing if there was more investigative journalists, we would have already won this thing. But we're starting to win. But we're just starting to win. We're starting to turn the tide. But now he's got undercover video that is incredible, that's on ProjectVeritas.com, Infowars.com, Newswars.com, top story on DrudgeReport.com, at least the last time I looked this afternoon. Undercover, Twitter engineers to ban way of talking through shadow banning algorithms to censor opposing political views. And Drudge has the headline that they admit they are opposing people's views, period. Just not letting you communicate if you're a Christian, a conservative, a libertarian. If you say a terror attack is Islamic, when ISIS is taking responsibility, they'll have a congressional hearing the day it happens and have Google, Facebook, and Twitter there, and they go, Paul Watson and InfoWars is #1 on Twitter, and he says that it's an Islamic attack and they've been warned. And they go, sir, we banned it during lunch. I mean, so a lot of this is out in the open now, but this is incredible at their meetings, at restaurants. We're going to find out how long this investigation went. But this is one of the most damning because they brag about, yeah, we spy on the president. And we're ready to give the Justice Department, implying they've got something in his private Twitter stuff where people are contacting you. That's like tapping the president's phone. And they say, we're ready to give it to Congress, implying there's something. This is how incredible it is. We should put this back on screen, the deep state symbol, because you think of deep state as government. But it's the tech giants. It's Google, Facebook, Twitter. They're the ones that nobody has got a leg up on. I mean, they're the king daddies, and they're the fake liberals, and they're manned by all these SJWs right out of university who are proud of their censorship. So James O'Keefe, you have done it again, my friend. Congratulations. They're at Project Veritas. Lay out the etymology of this and the footage, because if we play it, we'll run out of time. Having you here as right. This amazing infiltration.
Well, Alex, I mean, this is one of the greatest censorship stories in modern times. I mean, the things these people are saying on this video, I think this is certainly the biggest thing we have ever done. These are the most powerful people in the world. There you have it on the screen in front of you. Our strategy is to shadow ban. Now, your viewers might know what this is, but really what they're saying is that when you tweet or Facebook something, you think it's going to your users. What these companies are doing, and these engineers are on video describing, is how they make you think that your information is going to your users, but the people on the timeline don't see the information. That's what a shadow ban is. And they talk about how they specifically targeted, and this is their words, not mine, rednecks, conservatives who tweet about the flag, and they create algorithms where if you mention these things that correlate with certain ideas, they ban you. And they call it SHITTY people. This is what the policy executives, these are not low-level employees. These are executives at Twitter. Stephen Pierre, a Twitter engineer, says, we want to, quote, ban a way of talking. I hope you play some of these clips for your audience, because this is truly extraordinary. They say they want to downrank SHITTY people to not show up. We're working on that right now. So they're describing the products and there's Singh, who's on the direct messaging team, talking about how they use algorithms to target Julian Assange, to target conservatives. and to ban a way of talking.
We're going to play some of the video once you've left, but just in the time we have, people,
Yes, absolutely.
people need to go to Project Veritas and see it for themselves and InfoWars. But it just shows a total culture of censorship and dehumanizing white people as rednecks. But then Julian Assange, that's, bipartisan, exposing things, a real hero. They're calling him bad things as well. I mean, these are horrible people. But again, they're getting directives from on high that this is to be done.
Yes, they're getting directives. It's part of the culture. One of the executives in the tape, Alex, says that there's an unwritten policy. There you have it, Mo. He says there's an unwritten policy to do this, even though it's not part of the language. He's just, taking certain tweets down. Alex, Twitter bills itself as the public square. And what your audience needs to understand is if they take away our rights to share our ideas on these platforms, where are we going to go? I mean, most people don't have the power to create their own website. I know these are private companies, and we may not want the government to intervene, but unless the CEO of Twitter makes their algorithms public so the users know what they're doing, the government didn't have a choice but to intervene. I mean, this is scary stuff. And don't take my word for it. They're on tape saying their whole MO is to, quote, ban a way of talking. This is the greatest censorship story of modern times. And unlike the mainstream media, Alex, we don't just anonymously quote sources. We have these people dead to rights. How do we do it? We spent a year undercover, building and drawing these people out, building their trust. A lot of these people are not even American citizens because they outsource a lot of this engineering to other countries. They bring people in on student visas. In this video, you'll see a lot of foreign workers describing how they target American patriots just because they don't like what they have to say. And we're not talking about white supremacists or Nazi people. They're just targeting moderate conservative
But
people.
James, that's what globalism is ganging up on nation states, taking it over, letting China have, lower taxes than we have, designed to deindustrialize us. It's Cloward and Piven. And here they are saying we're going after all the opposition. Now we've got a story on Infowars.com. I don't know if you know about this, but Twitter has been caught now censoring your exposure.
How is that? I didn't see that one. Are they muting me? Are they shadow banning my stuff now?
Yes, with O'Keefe's suspension, Twitter confirms authenticity of Project Veritas videos. Twitter unblocked James O'Keefe account after suffering massive backlash for silencing the Project Veritas founder as his expose on Twitter political censorship went viral.
You know what's amazing, Alex, is that we're using Twitter's platform to get the information out. They are really in a pickle. They're in a bind because they can't ban me. They reinstated my account there. A lot of people on this is trending on Twitter, Alex, believe it or not. Isn't that ironic? Shadow ban, hashtag shadow ban is trending on Twitter from looking at my phone here. And everyone is tweeting at the CEO of Twitter. This is big stuff. By the way, Alex, yesterday Twitter issued a statement. The statement was, quote, the individual depicted in the video was speaking in a personal capacity and does not represent Twitter. So they're saying this is a rogue employee, and today we have eight rogue employees, including on the policy team. We have engineers on the direct messaging team. We have engineers describing things they're doing. This is historic.
And this is what YouTube does. They also put you into a phantom zone where you think you're hitting your subscribers, but only people going to Project Veritas or Real Alex Jones. You have to go there looking for it yourself to share it, and you caught YouTube executives saying the exact same thing about us. So this is incredible. So first they ban you, then it blows up in their face because you're covering this. Now they have to unban you. And then you make the point, well, it's their company, but they hold out it's a public square. It's false advertising, and it's all secret. And then they discriminate. I mean, if you can't, say no to baking a gay couple's cake, you sure can't keep conservatives off Twitter.
Well, they're also giving direct messages, according to them, to the government. And in yesterday's video, they say, well, we go into your DMs, and one of the things that they're saying, Alex, and this is really graphic, but this is some of the stuff that's going to come out. They're talking about private genital photos. No, I don't put that stuff on there. Maybe there's Americans.
Sure, but like the NSA or worse, they're going through all your private messages, trolling it, enjoying themselves like a bunch of peeping Toms. Stay there.
Someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
He goes to jail. He goes to jail. Lock him up.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
We confirm suspicions at Veritas. It's not a shock to you, but to get the employee at YouTube on tape admitting that they do it? I mean, you must be a threat if they call you out by name.
It's also what happens when you listen to the radio host, Alex Jones.
As of just a short time ago, and I'm talking about when this meeting started, on Twitter, if you clicked on the hashtag NYC terrorist attack, which is, quote, trending, marked with a red button saying, quote, live, the top tweet links to an InfoWars story with the headline, Imam, I warned de Blasio about New York City terror. He was too busy bashing Trump.
I don't know what happens in somebody's mind or how dark their heart must be to say things like that.
This is a real-time example of when we talk about this information being weaponized.
But Trump doesn't challenge these lies. He actually went on Jones's show and said,
your reputation's amazing. I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed, I hope.
How quickly can you act, and what's your responsibility to set the record straight so that the people who saw this know that it's fake news, and at least at some point in time it can't keep spreading like some sort of virus through the legitimate world.
That's something we're thinking about all the time, because it's a bad user experience, and we don't want to be known as a platform for that.
You have RT, you have Sputnik, you have Rupley, and then I think you have them feeding other entities. InfoWars comes to mind, where those are echo chambers.
The system self-corrected. That shouldn't be the first tweet you see anymore. It should be a USA article the last time I checked.
But you saw this.
USA Today. At lunch I did, yeah. And I also saw the system corrected.
That man's a threat to this country.
They didn't call out Fox News by name. They didn't call out anyone else by name. They said, when it comes to Alex Jones, we need people to scroll and manually find him and manually have to find that video. We're not going to allow that video, if it gets 10 million views, to be on the front of the so-called news carousel.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
It's
Alex Jones.
Support this network, and not only support us, but trigger the verified libtards on Twitter. They had an absolute meltdown a few days ago. They found an ad that I had cut for Brainforce, which, by the way, you should also get at InfoWarsStore.com. Always use the opportunity to promote it even more. They had a meltdown over an ad that I cut in April, and they found it like it was some secret, and they were like, oh my God, this is the funniest thing ever. So they literally had an autistic screeching fit over an ad of me promoting Brainforce, which is a nootropic, which like literally half the people in Silicon Valley take, which everybody has their different brand of. Oh, but when InfoWars does it, it's bad and it's funny somehow. If that's the best they've got, we advertise products that got 5-star independent reviews that you see right there on InfoWarsStore.com. Brainforce Plus. They had an absolute meltdown. It was hilarious. They wrote Vice.com. Listen, if this is the best they've got against yours truly, I advertised Brainforce 6 months ago. Everybody in Silicon Valley takes some kind of nootropic. This isn't like some hokey snake oil. I mean, Joe Rogan built his entire podcast on selling his version of the exact same product. I'm gonna go after Joe Rogan too. Absolutely incredible that they had all these massive hissy fits over me making an ad for Brainforce. Well, here I'm making another one right now. You're gonna get triggered over this? Good. We'll sell even more bottles of it. You're literally making InfoWars and me money with your autistic hissy fits. Carry on with your autistic screeching, because it's a lot funnier from my perspective. If that's all you've got, it's quite pathetic at this point. Get your Brainforce right now. Brainforce Plus, personally recommended by me at InfoWarsStore.com.
And now get Brainforce Plus at 50% off for a limited time at InfoWarsStore.com.